Hi guys, today we are going to be taking a look at another altcoin. This is 𝗕𝗪𝗠. 𝗕𝗪𝗠 has had a fantastic run of over 64% since the 6th of February, and it does seem to want to continue growing. So in today's video, we're going to be jumping into the technical analysis, showing you my thoughts and opinions on where I think AR is heading next. Let's roll that intro and get right down into it. Okay guys, welcome back to another altcoin update. Today we are taking a look at AR paired up with USDT. We're on the 4-hour Binance chart here, and man, yeah, we've seen some pretty good growth pretty much since October of 2023 here. So some good moves have been made to the upside. Most recently here, it has had a bit of a breakout situation. Let me show you what's going on. So here we can see that we had this area here just coming in as resistance, right? So we broke through this on the 15th of February about 8 a.m. and we've rallied up quite nicely since. Now in here we can also see that this is a bit of a wedge-based pattern, right? So if I go ahead and bring this in, you can see here that we're basically coiling up in the same way that Bitcoin was a week or so ago. We saw this coiling up and then we had this breakout situation. Now this means that everything that led into this move, all of this to the upside, was basically just a precursor for what was going to happen after we broke out of this ranging, condensing wedge, right? This basic wedge here is known as a continuation pattern, which basically means after this completes, we continue what led into it. And what led into it was this move to the upside, meaning that we are now in that breakout situation to the upside. So this has been a fantastic setup for anyone who is kind of looking at how to trade these kind of continuation-based patterns. You kind of find the low, you get yourself all wedged up into here, and you can enter into a long position. If I were looking at kind of trading AR here, I would have probably been looking at this range, saying to myself, we're likely to kind of come down back into this range here, down at this low area of support. I probably would have been quite conservative and would have entered somewhere around the 50 EMA, 50 SMA, or even that 200 EMA break. That probably would have been probably one of the best places to put it. I would always target out a minimum of 1.5 risk reward ratio, meaning that, initially we'll be looking at profit around 1074 with an entry at 885, stop loss at 760. But obviously we can see here this has had a much bigger breakout situation, and based on everything that kind of leads into this, our expectation will be a continued move to the upside over a sustained period of time, meaning that we could probably just kind of keep our stop loss in the green, keep moving it up gradually as time progresses, basically putting us into some really good, fantastic take profit positions and basically a non-loss situation. So again, as I always say, if I were to be trading and leverage-based trading, I will be trading on BitGet. BitGet is my go-to platform for leverage-based trading. I find the platform very easy to use, very intuitive. And if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, what are you waiting for? Check it out. The link for that is in the description down below. Loads of different rewards and sign-up bonuses depending on where you are around the world. Lots of terms and conditions, all listed on their website as well. So why not go ahead and check it out, guys? I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let's jump back down into our charts. So we saw this breakout situation. How high can it realistically go? Well, I think we've already met the minimum expectation here. Okay, so we obviously had this fantastic run to the upside. Okay, and you can see if I measure this initial surge here and I applied it to this little low that we had, you can see that we've kind of already met this expectation of about 57%. That would be my first kind of thoughts as kind of seeing a little bit of a cooling off period, just a fraction here before we continue up a little bit more. Now, it's possible that we come back down and we retest the trend line, but in this particular case, I wouldn't expect that to be what happens. Instead, I would be looking more at the area of previous resistance right here. Okay, coming in between $11.14 and $11.68 and looking to turn this into an area of support so that we can then continue this run to the upside. So we call off, we come here, we rally back up again. Okay, looking at the structure here, it looks pretty good. So my expectation will be a continued run to the upside over today. And I personally would think that our target range would probably be somewhere in the range. Actually, I've kind of got this targeted out quite nicely right here. Yeah, I'd say probably around here. So our next kind of major kind of push, I think, will be towards $13.19 to $13.92. That there will be another area of potential resistance. Now, hopefully we can break through that, but I think that's going to be where we probably find that we're going to be seeing a significant amount more resistance and a little bit of selling pressure for AR. Now, ultimately, as I said earlier, right, even though we kind of see all of these on the smaller time frame, our bigger move leading into this continuation pattern gives us that kind of hope that maybe we can see a significant surge from this breakout that kind of mirrors what led into it. Now, there's no guarantees that this is going to be the case, but there is the potential here for us to see basically 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗓 here rally on up more towards potentially $23, right, as you can kind of see in here. This would basically be a big breakout situation that would mirror the first kind of structure, but of course there's no guarantees. This move to the upside here, although good, would potentially be one that, you know, our minimum expectations have already been met. Once we kind of pierced higher than the resistance at 1176, then we know that, you know, we've started to really kind of come into new territory for the pattern that is playing out. But it's something to kind of be mindful of. And if we are, of course, to be calling off down into this range as expected, and we're looking for good long positions, personally, my stop loss will be below that 200 EMA. Entry around, so basically for reference, guys, stop loss about 893, entry about 1135, and take profit at around $22. This gives us a great risk reward ratio of about 4.46. And again, as I said earlier, I would be trading on BitGet with this one. Again, the numbers may be slightly different depending on the platform, and I am on a Binance chart at the moment, but this gives you an idea as to kind of my thoughts and processes on trading 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗓 here. Looking for a long position with a stop loss below the 200 EMA would be, I think, a pretty decent kind of risk reward ratio. And again, you know, if you apply proper risk management, I think would be a pretty reasonable trade for 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗓 on the kind of smaller time frames. So it's going to be interesting to see, because this move could be a 211% move from our lows that we saw in early January 2024. So 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗓 is well positioned, in my opinion. It looks like it's going to perform quite well here. Do expect some volatility though. Nothing moves in straight lines. As you can see on the way up here, we saw some sideways trading activity. We saw the range here as well before we got this breakout. It can take some time to play out, but $22 seems like a pretty reasonable expectation considering everything that I'm looking at here on the charts. And if we were to see this, and that's going to be some pretty lucrative returns if we add some leverage into the mix as well. So guys, why not you check out this video here where I go through what is going on with VeChain's price action, some fantastic things unfolding there for VET as well.